Welcome to episode 299 of the Various Sundry Podcast. I'm your host, Matt Harmon, joined live in the Vault Studio on the beautiful campus of Grace College and Grace Theological Seminary by my good friend, my colleague, my co-host, and the man who's dressed a little bit more casually today than usual, John Scott Sloat.
Interesting observation.
Well, normally you get the sport coat. I mean, you still got dress slacks and a button-down shirt. I mean, it's not like you're schlubbing it. But
Yeah, no meetings today. So today has been an office day to work on stuff, which has been glorious.
yeah,
Just
Yeah.
glorious.
yeah. I mean, we're recording on a Monday. This academic session has just been crazy with my schedule and your schedule not playing nice with each other. So normally, at this time every week, you are having a high-level powwow
Yes.
with El Presidente.
Yes. 4 o'clock every Friday.
Yeah.
Or, excuse me, every Monday. But
Yeah.
for some reason it canceled today.
Yeah. Yeah. So, you'll have to step down the institutional ladder, 5, 6 steps to hang out with a faculty member.
Hey, always happy to get among the people.
That's right. You're a man of the people.
That's right.
I mean, we talk about our current president as the people's president, which is true. He's very much a man of the people. Students love him. He's always active among the students.
It's hard to walk around without somebody going, press.
Yeah. So can we start that with you, like, VP?
No, I don't think so. I don't think that's going to fly.
Come on.
I don't think that's going to work.
Well, I can start it. I'll
Probably Veep would be more accurate.
Veep?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
sure. We can do
Like
Veep.
The TV show.
Yeah,
I've
I
never
know of
watched it.
I've never watched it, but yeah.
But the joke is the vice president's an idiot, right? I mean, that's spoilers. I've never watched it either, but
Yeah.
that's my sense of the show.
Okay, well, if you would like to contact the show and give our Veep a shout-out, you can contact us on X at VNSPod. You can email the show, variousandsundarypodcast@gmail.com. You can find us on Facebook and on YouTube. And we would love for you to leave a 5-star rating. All right, John. Let's jump right into some sports here.
Sounds good.
Busy time of the year for sports. One of the reasons why we love this time of year. Weather, sports, a lot going on.
Yeah, we've been a little warm. It needs to cool off 7 to 10 degrees.
Yeah, I think so. I agree with that. So let's start with some college football.
Okay.
Did you catch any college football this weekend?
Caught a little college football.
Okay, what'd you catch?
Well, I'm trying to remember, was it this week's college football or was it last week's college football I caught a little bit about?
So Ohio State had a bye, did not play. So the big games of the weekend, Oklahoma beat Auburn in a close one.
Yeah, I was following that one pretty closely.
Okay. Indiana
Demolished.
opened a can on Illinois. Just worked them over. I think it was 63-10.
63-10, yes.
Yeah.
So how good is Indiana?
I think they're pretty good. I think Illinois was a little overrated, but I think Indiana's pretty good. So
Okay.
they're at least top 15. They're maybe a borderline top 10 team.
Okay.
So, we'll see. They have to play I think they play both Oregon and Penn State this year. They don't play Ohio State. So, and I can't remember. I think both of those might be on the road. So those are 2 games that I would not expect them to win. But those are also top 5 teams. So, they could lose both those games and still be a very, very good team, just not a top 5 team.
Sure.
And Notre Dame put a thumping on Purdue, but
Gave up 30.
yeah, gave up a lot of points. They have some things to fix. And then that team up north beat Nebraska on the road. Nebraska's just this big tease.
Mm-hmm.
Every year they're like, this is the year we're going to break through and be relevant. And then they do Nebraska things like giving games away.
Well, they're unranked and only lost by 3.
Yeah, that's a little misleading.
Okay.
But, yeah, they have a quarterback who is a highly touted recruit. He's in his sophomore year now. Actually, he originally committed to Ohio State and then decommitted and committed to Nebraska. And he does everything he can to mimic Patrick Mahomes.
Okay, I was about to ask, is he that guy? Because I remember that guy. Okay.
Yeah. Wears the same number, like the mannerisms, the pregame rituals, everything is like,
Interesting.
And it's actually not a good thing because what that ends up meaning is some of his mechanics are bad and he makes, tries to do things that only someone the level of Patrick Mahomes can do.
No-look passes? Does he do no-look passes?
I don't know that I've seen him try to throw a no-look pass, but some of this, like, I'm just going to throw it sidearm for no reason. Not like trying to get it around a defender, but just like I'm just going to throw it sidearm for the heck of it. And he misses a wide-open guy in the flat by like 5 yards. Like, just throw the ball kind of thing. So, anyway, this upcoming weekend, big game for Ohio State. They travel – first road game of the year. They travel to Washington.
Okay.
And I don't know if the rankings – I don't know if Washington is still unranked, but they've been demolishing people on their schedule. So, road game, tough environment to play in. Ohio State's still going to be favored by like 10-ish points or so. But, Ohio State's got a freshman quarterback who's never played on the road like that before, and we'll see what happens.
Trying to see if there are any other games we need to highlight.
I think LSU. I feel like LSU plays somebody.
Southeastern Louisiana.
That was this week.
Correct. That was this. They
just this past weekend.
56-10.
Right. I'm talking about. I thought you meant for next weekend.
Oh, for next weekend.
Upcoming games.
Well, I can take a look here.
Yeah, I think there's some decent matchups coming up next weekend.
USC Illinois.
Now, that's an interesting one because Illinois just got embarrassed this past weekend, and USC beat Michigan State. So I don't know how good USC is. That'll be interesting.
LSU Mississippi.
That's what it is. LSU Ole Miss. That's a top 5. I think it's top 5, top 10-ish, at least a top 10 matchup.
Indiana Iowa.
Yeah,
that could be a trap game.
Could be a trap game. Is that game in Iowa?
It's in Iowa.
Okay, that's
Tennessee Mississippi State.
Mississippi State's not that good.
4-0. They haven't played anybody.
Yeah.
I get it. But you got to win those games. Oregon, Penn State.
That's the game I was thinking of. Yeah. So that's a top 5 matchup. It's at Penn State.
Yes, at Penn State. Alabama, Georgia.
Yeah.
That's a good game.
Yeah. So good games.
BYU, Colorado. Never mind. I'm sorry. My apologies.
Yeah. So, lots to talk about on the pod next week. Let's talk NFL.
You sure?
I think it's kind of contractually obligated.
Yeah. Okay.
Contracts that we wrote that don't exist except for in our minds. Okay, so your Jets. Man.
Did you watch the game?
Well, I only got the last
2 minutes
when we got switched over.
So what did you see?
So
see the field goal block?
Yes. That
was wild, right?
That's basically what I started with was like, oh, okay, Tampa Bay is going to kick a field goal, and they're going to put it out of reach. And instead, Jets block a field goal, run it back for a touchdown.
Will McDonald blocked a field goal, who was famous when he was drafted. Do you know what he's famous for when he was drafted?
No, I don't.
Jets rookie defensive lineman jumps over a car.
Okay.
Moving car. Like car was coming at him.
Yeah.
He jumped over it intentionally. So it was a buddy of his. And he came out and said, yeah, I need to stop doing that. That's stupid. And that felt relevant all of a sudden in that game.
Yes.
Where he jumped over the offensive line legally.
Yes.
Because you're not allowed to touch him. I think that's the rule.
Correct. You got to clear him.
And he cleared him.
Yep.
Blocked it and took it to the house.
Yes.
Which was
incredibly impressive play.
Pretty awesome.
Yeah.
And he was at his locker after the game like he won, like they won.
Yeah.
Like he was very pleased with himself.
Yes. Yes.
Very, very pleased with himself.
So that put the Jets up won, and then the Buccaneers drove down the field and kicked a field goal to – right? They kicked a field goal to win the game.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay.
They almost blocked it again, but –
Yes. Side note about the Bucs. They drafted Emeka Egbuka from Ohio State, and he has been terrific in his first few games.
Yeah, he's had a couple of good games.
So good for him. Anything else you want to say about the Jets game?
It's a long season.
Yeah. So Justin Fields is out with what injury?
Concussion.
Ugh. Those are tricky.
So are you excited about next week, though? The primetime Monday night game, Jets-Dolphins.
Oh, goodness.
Battle of 0-3 and 0-3. Classic Monday night primetime matchup.
I was about to say somebody's got to win, but technically they could tie. So
yeah.
All right. So the big headline I would say out of the NFL weekend so far was the Browns beating the Packers.
That was a big one.
Which, again, there was this span of so we're recording on a Monday, so yesterday, Sunday, within a 15-minute window, there were 3 blocked field goals.
Eagles-Rams.
Yes.
Jets, Bucks.
Yes.
And then who was the third? Was it Browns Packers?
Yeah. Within a 15-minute span. Blocked field goals are not especially common in the NFL.
Yeah.
And to have 3 of them happen in a 15-minute span is pretty unusual.
So I think that game was a big upset. I also think maybe not as big of an upset, but at least embarrassing is the Bears beating the Cowboys.
Yeah. Yeah, because the Bears aren't very good.
The Bears are not very good.
And what does that say about the Cowboys then? That they're probably not very good either.
They are what their record says they are.
Yeah. Okay, Bill Parcells.
1-2.
Yes. For the Browns, one thing that did make a difference for them is now Quinshon Judkins is playing.
Okay.
And he 18 carries, 94 yards, and a touchdown.
Nice.
So he's off to a good start. Anything else in the NFL world that caught your attention there?
The Joe Burrow-less Bengals did not look good.
Yes. By contrast, I will point out the J.J. McCarthy-less Vikings looked great.
Yeah. Yeah, 48 points.
Sam Darnold is their quarterback. Now that J.J. isn't it?
Sam Darnold is with Seattle now.
No. Okay, so who am I thinking of?
Carson
Wentz. Yeah. That's who it was.
Who
yeah, my bad.
I thought retired, personally.
Yeah.
Didn't realize he was still in the league.
Yeah. But, it's just interesting, J.J. McCarthy gets hurt and leaves, and suddenly the Vikings offense just erupts for 48. So do with that what you will.
Let me Saints quarterback, Spencer Rattler.
Yeah.
If I was going to ask you how many passing attempts he had yesterday, what would be your guess? Young quarterback?
Well, you would think that you'd probably want to put him in the around 30. 25 to 30.
He had 39 passing attempts yesterday. Okay. That feels high.
It does, yeah.
That feels high.
But I don't know also what they have on their offensive line and their running backs, if you can't run the ball.
Alvin Kamara is their main running back.
Right. Okay.
He's at least historically very good.
Yeah.
Did not have a good game yesterday.
Okay. Yeah, throwing the ball 39 times is a lot.
Feels like a lot.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Okay.
Lions-Ravens tonight.
Yeah.
Should be a fun game.
Yep.
Both 1-1 teams.
All right. Let's talk the New York Metropolitans.
Oh, boy. Yeah, we're not looking good. We do not look like a team that wants to make the playoffs right now. And we're on the outside looking in.
Yes. I obviously I don't follow baseball, so I was made aware by Jordan in Indiana last night.
Wow.
He's like, you gotta get John to talk about the Mets this week because we got a big series with the Cubs.
The Mets are kind of Jekyll and Hyde right now. We took 2 or 3 from the Padres. very good team. Mm-hmm. We lose 2 of 3 to the Washington Nationals.
Not a very good
Very bad team.
Yeah.
I don't know what to do with that information.
So as it stands right now, as of recording at 4:30 on Monday, September 22nd, where do the Mets stand in the playoff race?
Outside looking in,
Okay.
because they lose the tiebreaker with Cincinnati.
All right.
So we got to get in front of Cincinnati.
Okay. And I would be remiss if I didn't note that Nate from Ohio has been chirping about the sudden resurrection of the Guardians.
Yeah, they have been a lot of fun.
They've like won 15 of their last 16 or something like that. Or
Yes.
15 of the last 17, something
Yes,
like that.
and they are on the heels of the Detroit Tigers, I believe. Let me just check that real quick.
They're in the mix for both the division and for the wild card.
So
right?
they're in the wild card position right now. They are a game behind the Detroit Tigers. So
for the division.
For the division, yes. The Tigers have won 85 games and have gone 1-9 in their last 10.
Yeah.
The Guardians have 84 games and have gone 9-1 in their last 10.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, the Detroit Lions are on a Tigers, excuse me.
Yeah.
Force of habit.
Yeah.
Pretty epic collapse.
Okay.
Pretty epic collapse right now.
Interesting. Yeah. So how many games are left in the season at this point?
7, 8, somewhere in that ballpark.
Okay.
Probably depends on, where you stand.
All right. So by next week, we'll be like right at the end of the regular season.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Okay. That'll be interesting. All right. Anything else from the world of sports?
I feel like we're missing something.
Ryder Cup's coming up this weekend, right?
Yeah. World Championships, track and field, were this last weekend in Tokyo.
They were.
Mm-hmm.
They were.
I don't know much about what happened there. I know they happened.
I know of one event and one athlete.
The steeplechase?
Yes. Yes. We don't – I don't know that either of us would say we really know him personally.
I may have shook his hand once, yeah.
But this is a the man who finished 8th overall, right, I think, in the World Championships. I think. He was the highest placing American.
Yeah, 8th or 9th.
In the World Championships in the steeplechase. So, yeah, that's crazy impressive. So, all right, ready to move on?
Yep.
All right. We are ready to talk about the topic that John Sloat begged me to talk about. Twisted my arm.
None of this is true.
So we're going to talk about Charlie Kirk. And we went back and forth a little bit. Now, when we recorded the last episode, this had happened. He had been killed.
Got shot on a Wednesday, right?
Right. And we recorded an episode for the following week on that Friday. So things were still very fresh.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And now that we're, a week and a half removed from him being killed and then his memorial service or whatever we're calling that happened yesterday has happened. And more details have emerged about the man who shot him and that kind of thing.
Technically a man, but really a very young man.
Yes, 22.
22 years old? Yeah.
Yeah. And, just to be fully honest here, we both went back and forth. We both were on the fence, conflicted, I think was the word you used.
Yeah.
And that's perfectly appropriate in terms of, on the one hand, this feels like a huge cultural, historical moment.
Yeah.
On the other hand, we don't talk politics on this podcast.
No, we really do our best not to.
And so therein lies the conflict. in terms of addressing this. And so we went back and forth by text and kind of hashed it out a little bit. And, we're gonna do our best to talk about some angles on this. Not all of them.
Yeah.
There's a lot you can talk about with this. And our focus is not going to be on the political end of things. But inevitably, in talking about Charlie Kirk, you're at least, skipping a stone across the water of politics. So anyway, let me start with this. What level of awareness did you have of Charlie Kirk before this happened?
Yeah, I've thought a lot about this because I had an idea of who he was.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to remember when I first became aware of him. I think it was I think it was when there was a lot of things happening at Liberty University, and there was a Falwell Kirk Center. And I think that was the first time, and that was probably 6 or 7 years ago now, maybe longer.
Okay.
Probably before we started this podcast.
Maybe.
And so that was probably the first time. But I did not follow him much at all.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I guess I wasn't surprised that he claimed faith. I think I'm surprised at how outspoken he was about faith. But I did not follow his career. I did not know he was married. I did not know that he presented the gospel at a number of these conservative rallies.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know he had kids.
Yeah.
I knew he had started TPUSA.
Turning Point USA.
Turning Point USA, yeah. But other than that, I wasn't very familiar with him.
Yeah.
How about yourself?
I think I knew more about him than that, but not a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I had seen a number of his just short clips that would show up on my Twitter feed.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we're talking like 45-second, 2-minute interactions that he would have with people at these rallies.
Mm-hmm.
And so that was about it. I knew my sons were more connected in terms of what of his content than I was. And so I knew he was a political activist.
Yeah.
And I, too, did not know, as you mentioned, the extent to which he talked about his faith and presented the gospel in these sort of rally/debate contexts where he would show up on a college campus and, talk about not just his own personal faith, but like make a clear presentation of the gospel.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that. And so that was a pleasant surprise to me that he was doing that. I also knew that he was, someone who was well connected within conservative activist circles on the political end, not so much on the he's not writing articles for Gospel Coalition.
Yeah, we wouldn't have seen him at Gospel Coalition.
Yeah, no, he's not there. So I was largely unaware of his personal faith or the extent to which he claimed to be a Christian and was actively communicating the gospel in this context. I was unaware of that.
And as I understand it, he started Turning Point USA. He was young, like 23.
Oh, younger than that.
20,
I think like
19?
18. Like right out of high school, basically.
And he was connected to, I believe, Ben Shapiro.
Okay.
And so, and I heard this in an interview with Ben Shapiro. So, from the Free Press, he did an interview with the Free Press, and Ben Shapiro was like introducing him to conservative donors.
Yeah.
And Ben made the comment that as Charlie got older, he got a lot more religious.
That has been my sense as well. And even seeing how people talk about things that he said or even his approach to these rallies, my my perception has been that over the last several years, I don't have a number to put on this, but that over time he became much more proactive about talking about his personal faith and Christian ideas and even the gospel itself. That's my understanding, is that grew over time towards the end.
My perception, I guess I don't have anything, is that he got a whole lot more civil over the past several years as well.
That could be. I don't know. I mean,
that's at least my perception.
Again, I my sense is that he, at least by the end, I don't know about the early years, but by the end, he was attempting to model a sort of civil discourse about ideas. And I've even seen clips, again, it's a clip. I don't know what the context is sometimes, but seen clips where, there was a clip I've seen where a conservative young man, like late teens, early 20s, attends a rally and comes to the microphone with his liberal dad. And this conservative young man is basically, kind of calling out his dad on him being a liberal. And Charlie apparently is like kind of stopping him, like, look, like, first of all, you need to respect your dad, like honor your father. And he makes the point of like, part of what you don't get is your dad grew up in a time where the government actually, at least from his perception, was helping him. And so he's more favorably disposed to being open to that idea. You're growing up in a time where the government is not helping you from your perception. And so that's part of why you're not seeing things eye to eye. And both of them are kind of like, oh, well, yeah, that makes sense. And he stressed, like, more important than any political conversation is your relationship with each other. Like, let's make sure you're protecting that in the midst of even having disagreements about politics or policy or that kind of thing. So anyway, I'm not saying he was perfect by any means.
No, I didn't mean to accuse you of that if I did.
No, you didn't. You didn't. This is one of those times where I think what has frustrated me about some of the conversation around Charlie Kirk is that
he's either a saint or a villain.
Exactly.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
It's all or nothing. He's either like, saint or like, man, he was like the Antichrist, basically. Like, okay, actually he was a human being. And, every human being's complex. Yep. And even the best men among us are men at best, which means they're fallen and sinful. So one of the things we want to talk about is spiritual implications of these events. Do you think there are going to be any lasting sort of cultural or religious effects that come out of him being killed the way he was and the response that's followed from that?
So I don't know the future.
What?
Yeah, I know.
You don't have a gift of prophecy?
No. But so it's hard to tell. I can say this. I hope so. I hope there's I saw somebody on Twitter reflect that Charlie's Protestant faith, he explicitly called out Protestant, is the stuff of revival, right? This sort of even reflecting on the memorial service. Was it Sunday?
Yesterday, as we record. Yep.
That had like a revivalish type feel to it, like a
multiple speakers sharing the gospel, worship music, contemporary worship music. Yeah.
So I hope so.
In a big stadium.
In a big stadium. Yeah, it was kind of Billy Graham-ish, right? Because Billy Graham would have politicians speak, right? I mean,
okay. I hadn't made that connection, but I can see that. Yeah.
So I remember watching a Billy Graham crusade that was in Yankee Stadium in the 50s, 60s, something like that. Yeah. And he's up there preaching the gospel. He goes, now I'm going to invite a man up who, you all know. He a great I don't know, senator or whatever he was at the time. And he goes, he is such a good Christian man, trust his character, trust all these things. Welcome to the stage, Richard Nixon.
Yeah.
That didn't go so well, right?
Right.
But I remember watching that just sort of like it shocked me.
Yeah.
To see Richard Nixon as a younger man,
Yes.
that was shocking in and of itself.
Yeah.
But so it kind of reminded me of that, watching politicians get up there, talk about their faith, talk about the gospel, talk about those things.
Okay.
So yeah, I think it maybe could. We'll see.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I see very anecdotal things on social media about people saying, well, I haven't been to church in 15 years, but this Sunday I'm going to go. Okay.
Yeah.
I hope so. Great. Love to see you go to a church. That's great. Hope it sticks.
Yes.
I hope that when you go there that you hear the gospel clearly and experience God's love in a fresh way, and maybe that's compelling to you for the first time, and maybe it hasn't been. I hope that's the case.
Yep. Absolutely.
I will say, as a side note, I didn't have much of a stomach for the sort of Monday morning quarterbacks on Twitter who were like, if your pastor didn't say anything about Charlie Kirk this week, then you need to find another church. Stop it. Let every pastor do his main task and let him decide whether or not he wants to address that and how he wants to address it and in what context he wants to address it.
I know you're watching a lot more college football now because that was a complainy Southern accent there you pulled down. I appreciate that. That was nice.
Here's something I want to make sure we hit on. What do you think the impact will be on Gen Z? Because that was his main audience. That's who he was most well known among, most popular. The sort of the 20s. He himself was 31 when he was
31. Yeah.
So
I didn't realize he was that young either. I mean, I virtually knew nothing about the guy.
Yeah.
I didn't realize he was that young. I would have pegged him as probably my age.
Yeah.
30. How old am I now? 37. It's a good question. Because it was his target demographic, and there was a pretty big shift to the political right among young, particularly men.
Yes.
In the last election, and I don't think Charlie was responsible for all of it.
But a chunk of it.
I think part of it, absolutely.
Yeah, a chunk of it.
I absolutely think it was a part of it.
Yeah.
So, goodness, if he was persuasive on the politics side of things, could it be persuasive on the religious side of things as well? I mean,
yeah, I don't know.
It could be.
Mm-hmm.
It really could. But it's kind of one of those things we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah. I actually did a little dialogue with my afternoon class today about this.
Oh, really?
I did.
What questions did you ask them?
I started very open with just I started with how many of you before this happened had heard of Charlie Kirk? And just about everybody in the room. I think maybe 3 out of the 22 had not. And that includes, I have 3 foreign students in my class.
They had heard of him.
They had heard of him. So, which was interesting. But one of the things I asked them about as we talked about it is sort of what sort of impact has this had on you? And, a few students shared. And one of the students said essentially, this has motivated me to be more outspoken about my beliefs and my faith. And I had one student who said, it's made me a little bit concerned about being on a college campus. Just because that's where this happened. And, and so I think that that was an interesting comment as well. I had asked how many of them before this had not just seen social media clips of him, but like had watched an actual like video of his or something more long form as opposed to just the snippets. And out of the 22, I think it was like 3 or 4.
Okay.
So a smaller percentage had actually like watched something at length of his, which was interesting to me. But, I think, another student expressed concern about, she basically said, this was eye-opening to me in the sense of I knew that we were, as a country, divided over politics and those sorts of things. But like this, to me, takes it to a whole new level. That it's not just disagreement about ideas, but that someone would go to the extent of wanting to kill someone else because of their ideas.
Yeah.
And, I said to them, something like this has not happened in over 50 years, where a non-politician, a political activist, I would call Charlie Kirk a political activist.
Sure.
He would embrace that label, was killed. I think you have to go back to someone like a Malcolm X and a Martin Luther King Jr. To have a comparable. And I don't want to get into the discussion of that comparison.
Sure.
But in terms of category, someone who's not we've had assassination attempts on a president. We've had,
judges, people showing up beside judges' homes.
We've had members of Congress shot at and killed. Like that has happened in my lifetime. But someone who's not a actual political office holder.
Yeah.
Killed because they're going around talking about ideas. He wasn't even running for office. But I think that's kind of part of the shocking nature of this thing. And it happened on a college campus.
Yeah.
So, anything let's hit on this. Do you think there are any implications for free speech on this? Because there are some tangential things that have happened that are loosely connected to free speech.
Sure.
Related to this. I'm talking about the Jimmy Kimmel stuff in terms of him no longer – I guess what is it? Indefinite suspension is what –
Indefinitely off the air.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And just to clarify, that was the decision of the parent company of the show, not the government saying take him off the air.
It was Mickey Mouse.
Yes,
Mickey Mouse made this decision.
Yes. Is Bob Iger still the CEO of?
Yes.
Okay.
It's Bob Iger.
Okay.
Because they brought in another guy. This is getting into my business side of my brain, but they brought in another guy, Bob Chapin, I think was his name.
Okay.
And he so drove the company into a hole
that they brought Iger back.
They had to bring Iger back to dig them out. And I think he pretty much has them dug out. They're performing much better as a company.
Getting there. So anyway.
I'm concerned about free speech broadly.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to raise it with you.
Outside of I think even outside of this situation, before this situation, I was concerned about free speech in our society.
Okay.
There seemed to be a lot of wanting to control speech on both sides of the aisle, political left and right. So people that do similar things to Charlie, like trying to put it, as much as you can. Somebody like a Ben Shapiro who goes on college campuses and has conversations or speaks, or a handful of other guys that I've heard talk about this, and they're just like, well, I'm probably not doing any more outdoor events.
Right.
And we're probably only going to have indoor events, and there's going to be metal detectors.
Heavy security screening, yes.
Mm-hmm. And so that is something that's happening to free speech, right?
Sure.
We can't have speech outside.
Yeah.
But, in safety and protection we can. I think that's problematic. And, probably if the violence continues to escalate, it's probably, somebody, not specifically Ben Shapiro or, whoever. I need to stop naming Ben Shapiro. I don't even listen to him. getting shot walking into an event or walking to his airplane through the parking lot or something like that. That's probably a next escalation. But yeah, I am nervous about it. It doesn't seem like people want to have the antidote to some of the bad speech that's out there is better speech, better argumentation. It's let's silence that person or kill that person.
Yes.
That seems to be the answer.
Don't you think, though, that one of the contributing factors to this is that when you call speech you don't like
violence?
Yeah,
absolutely. That's definitely a huge problem.
You're contributing to it because then you've blurred a line in some people's minds of, well, if that's violence, then I have to silence the violence with actual physical violence.
Yeah.
That it is a step towards justifying actual physical violence. If the words you say are violence, then I guess I have to counteract that with violence.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's definitely a problem. I also think goodness. I think we have a problem calling evil evil. And I think that's on both sides, but I think it's pronounced right now on the political left a little bit more, right? I mean, we had the CEO of United Healthcare assassinated outside of New York City, which he wasn't shot at a rally, but might be the most similar, right? I mean,
just walking down the street, I think, right?
Walking down the street, 5:30, 6 a.m. in the morning,
yeah, and
was killed in New York City.
And intentionally targeted because of who he was, not a random act of –
That's right.
Very intentionally going after
with
that
words
person.
engraved on the bullets, just very similar.
Yeah.
And I mean, the media was like, killing is bad. But what the healthcare companies are doing, they didn't say this, but warrant this sort of response.
Yeah. Yeah. When you stick it to people through the healthcare system like this guy did, I mean, it's sort of cracking that door of like, well, it kind of had it coming, right? Like, you say things like that and don't be surprised when you have this happen to you. Like that kind of statement is an indirect sort of justification of violence.
Absolutely.
So there's a million more things that can and have been said. And, realistically, we stay away from politics for a very clear reason because we want people to, focus on the gospel ultimately.
Yeah.
And not that those two things are inherently like that there's this massive gap between politics and the gospel. But in any case, I hope that our discussion has, highlighted some of those things. And, that will probably be one of the few times we ever talk about politics. And we were politics adjacent today.
Yeah. Maybe like one a year we have that's on politics. Right? Because it's so entwined with culture.
Yeah.
It's hard to – I don't know.
It is.
Anyway.
In any case. Time now for This Day in Sports History.
All right. This Day in Sports History, September 23rd, 2025. Month of September, almost gone.
And we're moving into that sweet spot of weather, sports, foliage.
Yeah, flavors as well. The flavors get very good.
Yeah. 1845. I don't like this one.
I already do. The first baseball team, the New York Knickerbockers, organizes and adopts a rule book known as the Knickerbocker Rules.
Yeah. From what I could gather, it was an attempt to codify what essentially the basic rules were for baseball and distinguishing it from
cricket. Nice.
Yeah.
1988, jumping into the future. East German swimmer Uwe Dassler. I have no idea.
I think it'd be Uwe. I think
you're right.
Generally
I think
pronounced with a
Uwe.
V sound. Yes.
Dassler?
Sure.
Sets world record of, 3 minutes and 46 seconds to win the 400-meter freestyle gold at the Seoul Olympics. Edges, Australian. Duncan Armstrong.
You got that one right.
Love that name. By 0.2 seconds.
Okay. There you go. I know any sentence that begins with East German swimmer or East German in general. Yes.
Also in 1988, not at the Olympics.
Nope.
Jose Canseco, uniformly hated individual, is baseball's first to steal 40 bases and hit 40 home runs.
Yep. I remember that being a pretty monumental thing.
Juan Soto is pretty close to that right now.
I mean, it's more common now, obviously. He kind of broke that barrier. Because typically you just had people, like a guy was either a power hitter
or a base stealer.
But not both.
Well, he was juicing. 2018, 39-year-old quarterback for the New Orleans Saints, Drew Brees, throws 17-yard pass to Michael Thomas to become the NFL's career passing leader, breaking Brett Favre's record of 6,300 completions. The Saints beat the Falcons.
That's a lot of completions.
That's a lot of completions.
6,300.
Yeah, that's a lot of completions for Mr. Brees. He was in the right offense for him. I mean, they were throwing the ball, 45 times a game?
Probably, yeah.
Just a ton. And remember, he was supposed to have washed out as a quarterback at San Diego.
Yes.
So he had 3 seasons at San Diego?
Yep.
And who did they replace him with?
I don't remember.
Phillip Rivers.
Oh, that's right. Mr. I have 11 kids.
They were on the team together for a year in San Diego. Think about that.
Well, and if I have my chronology correct, I think when he left the Chargers, he was shopping around for teams, and the Dolphins looked at him.
Yes.
When Nick Saban was the coach.
Yes.
And he did not pass the physical for the Dolphins. Is that correct?
I don't know if it was past the physical, but I know the other quarterback that the Dolphins ultimately signed instead. Do you know this?
I don't remember.
Dante Culpepper.
Yes. Yes. Who was coming from the Vikings.
Yes.
Yeah.
And was so banged up from being on the Vikings that he was useless. If anybody couldn't pass a physical, it's Dante
Culpepper.
Yeah. 2022, St. Louis Cardinals slugger Albert Pujols hits 2 home runs with 5 RBIs and an 11-0 win over the Dodgers. Love it when the Dodgers lose. Becomes the 4th player in Major League history to hit 700 career home runs.
That's a lot of home runs.
That's a lot of home runs.
Now, do you think he juiced?
I don't think there's any proof he juiced.
Yeah. The sad thing is now we live in an era where it's like, well, what do you think? Did he? And even if there is no proof, you have to.
Now, I will say, when he left St. Louis, his career
declined significantly.
Yes. That would, in accordance with his age.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Yeah.
And then came back to St. Louis for a couple of seasons.
Correct.
2023, running back Chip Trainum.
Yep.
Scores a touchdown with no time on the clock to lead Ohio State to a 17-14 road win over Notre Dame.
Yeah. Just
nice.
2 years ago.
Oh, my goodness.
What do you like?
I kind of like Drew Brees for this one.
Yeah.
Drew Brees or Albert Pujols. That's kind of where I'm at.
Let's go Drew Brees.
Drew Brees? All right.
Let's do that. One thing you liked.
So we recorded this. Did we record this the day Darryl Strawberry was on campus? I feel like we did.
We did. Yes.
So
we talked about that. That was your one thing you liked, that you got to hang out with him.
I got to hang out with him. Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Well, I had gotten a signed baseball that day. I brought it back to my office. I put it on the shelf. It's there now. You can go see it. However, I came back to my office the following Monday, and I had 2 Manila's the wrong word, but the yellow like office folders.
Yep.
And one was quite fluffy, and the other one was quite flat. Two of them.
Mm-hmm.
One of them I opened up, and it was a signed photo of Darryl Strawberry, and it said, "To John, all the best, Darryl Strawberry."
How about that?
And then another one was a signed jersey of Darryl Strawberry that said, "Darryl Strawberry, 86 world champs."
Wow.
And so I carried those like it was like my child home to get framed. And I'm trying to decide, do I keep them in the office?
Yeah, it's tough.
Those are not insured at the office.
Oh.
They're insured at home.
There you go.
So what do I do?
Where would you put them at home? Would you put it in the basement down there?
Maybe the basement. I was thinking like behind me on my Zoom calls at home.
So that'd be like in the upstairs bedroom there. Where you have
Yeah,
an office.
yeah. But maybe the basement's the better spot for it.
Yeah, probably.
Maybe I'll get a whole lighting system around it.
Yeah.
I don't want this to become a thing where I'm collecting signed jerseys, though. That's a lot.
Yeah, that can get to be an expensive hobby.
Very.
Yeah.
Very.
Okay. So, since we last recorded, I had the privilege of participating in the installation service
Oh, nice.
of one of our
That's right.
graduates. So, that was a lot of fun going down to near Richmond, Indiana, a little over 2 hours and 15 minutes away.
Nice.
But, Trent is the new pastor there. He and his new bride, Abby, are getting settled into this. It's a kind of a country church, but it's like 15 minutes outside of Richmond, Indiana. So, fun to be a part of that installation service, get to preach that and get to see them. And my wife went down with me, and actually Jake and Autumn went down as well because Jake and Trent were good friends. And so, just a lot of fun to be a part of that. One of the cool things about being a prof is getting to see your students go out and do
things.
What you helped train them to do. So that was a lot of fun. And so with Trent, I'd known Trent since he was, basically a seventh grader, and had coached him in basketball as well. So I've known him for a long time. So it was a lot of fun to be a part of that. So that is my one thing I liked.
Nice.
All right, John, we have talked about football and the struggling Mets. We have talked about Charlie Kirk. We have talked about Drew Brees. We have talked about your surprise Darryl Strawberry signed gifts.
Yes, thank you to our athletic director who pulled that off. I forgot to give him props.
Shout out Chad in Winona Lake.
Yeah, I don't think he's a listener,
Probably
but we love Chad.
He's too busy doing all the things that he does.
Yep.
And we talked about me being a part of an installation service for one of our graduates. And so I think, by definition, we have covered our various and sundry topics. So all that's left to say is, until next time, the Lord bless you all real good.
Later.